There is a profound strength in silence. In a world where everyone feels the need to react, where pride demands vengeance and emotions dictate our actions, the ability to stay quiet after disrespect is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of power. It's a declaration that you refuse to stoop to the level of negativity, that you prioritize your peace over petty conflicts, and that you choose wisdom over impulsive retaliation. Let me remind you, silence is not the absence of response, it's the most strategic response. Staying quiet in the face of disrespect demonstrates mastery over your emotions. It takes immense strength to resist the urge to react impulsively, especially when your pride feels wounded or your sense of justice is challenged. Silence in such moments is not a weakness. It is a deliberate choice, a decision to rise above the chaos rather than be consumed by it. When you choose silence, you prove to yourself and others that you are in control of your emotions, not the other way around. Think about it. Reacting in anger often leads to words or actions you may later regret. It's in the heat of the moment that mistakes are made, relationships are damaged, and respect is lost. By staying quiet, you give yourself the space to think clearly, to assess the situation objectively, and to respond, if necessary, from a place of wisdom rather than emotion. Silence becomes your shield, protecting you from unnecessary conflict and keeping your dignity intact. When you practice self-control in such moments, you also set an example for others. You show that maturity is not about how loudly you can retaliate, but about how gracefully you can handle adversity. The ability to stay quiet when provoked is a sign of deep inner strength, one that commands more respect than any impulsive outburst ever could. To remind you of the fact that world is not conditional by title. It depends only on your sense of self-worth, is not dependent on the validation or approval of others, especially those who seek to bring you down. To do that, you must be a total above with the Word of God before you accept anything. By choosing silence, you protect your mental and emotional well-being in a way that few other actions can. Disrespect has a way of pulling you into a cycle of negativity, where anger, frustration, and resentment begin to cloud your thoughts. Reacting only feeds that cycle, allowing the negativity to take root in your mind and consume your energy. But when you remain quiet, you take control of that energy, redirecting it away from conflict and toward maintaining your peace. Silence creates a boundary, one that says your inner peace is not up for negotiation. It is a declaration that you refuse to let someone else's words or actions have the power to disrupt your equilibrium. In that silence, you affirm your strength and your refusal to be dragged into unnecessary turmoil. It is a form of self-care, an act of prioritizing your well-being over momentary satisfaction. When you stay quiet, you give yourself the gift of clarity. In those moments, you can reflect and decide whether the situation even warrants your attention. Often you find that the disrespect says more about the other person than it does about you. Silence allows you to maintain perspective, to see the bigger picture, and to avoid being drawn into battles that add no value to your life. It's not about avoiding confrontation. It's about choosing your battles wisely and reserving your energy for what truly matters. In protecting your peace through silence, you also send a powerful message that your time and energy are far too valuable to waste on negativity. You demonstrate a sense of self-respect that is unshakable, one that prioritizes inner harmony over external validation. It is in this quiet confidence that you find true freedom, untouched by the chaos others may try to bring into your life. When someone disrespects you, it is crucial to understand that their actions reflect who they are, not who you are. Disrespect is often a projection of a person's insecurities, frustrations, or internal struggles. It has little to do with you and everything to do with what they are experiencing internally. By staying quiet in the face of such behavior, you allow the focus to remain where it belongs, on their actions, not your reaction. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their character while preserving your own. When you choose not to react, you take away their ability to control the narrative. Disrespectful people often seek to provoke, to draw you into their chaos so they can justify their behavior. They want to trigger a reaction that makes them feel validated or gives them a sense of power. By remaining silent, you deny them this satisfaction. Your composure highlights their immaturity and pettiness, making their behavior stand out even more. Without your reaction to distract from the real issue, their disrespect becomes glaringly obvious, not just to you, but to anyone who may be observing. Silence also gives you the upper hand because it removes the emotional charge from the situation. When someone disrespects you, they expect anger, defensiveness, or an attempt to retaliate. These reactions give them exactly what they want: control over your emotions. But when you remain calm and quiet, you shift the power dynamic. They are left with the weight of their own actions, forced to confront their words without the distraction of your response. Over time, this can lead to sudden reflection on their part, even if it is subconscious. Moreover, when you refrain from reacting, you maintain your dignity and composure. Reacting to disrespect often pulls you down to the same level as the person who initiated it. It becomes a back-and-forth exchange that diminishes both parties. However, silence elevates you above the situation. It shows that you have the strength and self-respect to rise above pettiness. This not only protects your reputation, but also sends a powerful message to those around you, that you are someone who values integrity over impulsivity. It is important to recognize that not every act of disrespect requires your energy or attention. Life is filled with people who, intentionally or unintentionally, will act out in ways that are hurtful or dismissive. If you were to react to every slight, you would spend your entire life caught up in battles that drain your energy and steal your focus. Silence allows you to discern what is worth addressing and what is better left ignored. It gives you the space to choose your responses wisely and ensure that your energy is invested in things that truly matter. In moments of silence, you also have the opportunity to reflect on the situation. Instead of being caught up in the heat of the moment, you can step back and evaluate the source of the disrespect. Is it coming from a place of misunderstanding, jealousy, or personal pain? Understanding the root cause can help you decide whether the situation warrants further action or if it is best to simply move on. Silence creates that space for clarity and thoughtful consideration, ensuring that your actions are guided by wisdom rather than emotion. Choosing silence in the face of disrespect is also an act of resilience. It shows that you are unshaken by the opinions or actions of others. This resilience is a testament to your inner strength and confidence. When you remain silent, you are not ignoring the disrespect. You are acknowledging it without allowing it to define you. You are asserting your power by refusing to be affected by someone else's negativity. This quiet strength speaks louder than any words ever could, leaving a lasting impression on those who witness it. Over time, staying quiet after disrespect can transform the way you view such situations. Instead of feeling the need to prove yourself or defend your honor, you begin to see disrespect for what it truly is, an expression of someone else's struggles or limitations. This perspective frees you from taking their behavior personally, allowing you to move forward with grace and confidence. You realize that your worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how you choose to respond. And the grand scheme of things, reacting to disrespect is rarely worth the energy. The world is full of opportunities to grow, to create, and to achieve. Every moment spent engaging with negativity is a moment taken away from pursuing your goals and living the life you desire. Silence ensures that your focus remains where it should be, on building a life that reflects your values, passions, and purpose. It is a reminder that you are in control of your journey, not the opinions or actions of others. Ultimately, when you stay quiet in the face of disrespect, you demonstrate a level of self-awareness and wisdom that few possess. You show that you understand the value of your energy and the importance of protecting your peace. You make it clear that your identity and worth are not tied to the approval or validation of others, but are grounded in a deep sense of self-respect. This kind of quiet confidence is a powerful force, one that allows you to navigate life with grace, strength, and unwavering dignity. Instead of wasting energy on verbal battles or emotional reactions to disrespect, focusing on your actions and achievements becomes a far more powerful and meaningful response. Words, no matter how eloquent or heated, are fleeting. They can be forgotten, misunderstood, or drowned in the noise of conflict. However, actions endure. They leave an undeniable impact, carving a path of progress and success that speaks volumes without the need for explanation or justification. When someone disrespects you, the intention is often to belittle or diminish you, to bring you down to their level of negativity. But when you channel your energy into purposeful action, you not only rise above their intentions, but also demonstrate that their opinion holds no weight in the grander scheme of your life. So, in these past 5 years, we've each shared in some profound experiences which now fill this visit. Every step you take toward your goal, every achievement you accomplish, and every boundary you establish serves as a silent yet resounding statement that you are beyond their attempts to undermine you. And every time you lose your little fight to close a new chapter, the other chapter opens before you. And every time you lose your little fight becomes a new. Success is the ultimate rebuttal. It is undeniable proof of your capabilities, your resilience, and your refusal to be defined by someone else's words or actions. It shifts the narrative entirely, turning the focus away from the disrespect you received and placing it on the remarkable things you are accomplishing. When you excel in your pursuits, you leave no room for their negativity to take root. Instead, you create a legacy of growth and strength that overshadows any insult or slight directed your way. Investing in your actions rather than engaging in conflict also ensures that your time and energy are used productively. Time spent arguing or defending yourself is time that could have been used to build something meaningful. It is easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment, to feel that a response is necessary to defend your honor or set the record straight. But when you step back and consider the bigger picture, it becomes clear that such responses often do little to change the other person's perspective. Instead, they only serve to entangle you further in negativity, distracting you from your greater purpose. By focusing on your goals and dreams, you create a life that speaks for itself. Your actions become a testament to your discipline, determination, and self-belief. People may not remember the words you use to defend yourself in an argument, but they will remember the milestones you achieved and the impact you make. In the end, it is your legacy of action that defines you, not the fleeting moments of conflict that others may try to provoke. Furthermore, choosing action over reaction builds a sense of internal empowerment. When you decide to let your achievements do the talking, you shift your focus away from external validation and towards self-mastery. You realize that your worth is not contingent on how others perceive you or treat you, but is rooted in your ability to create, grow, and thrive despite the challenges you face. This mindset strengthens your confidence and reinforces your sense of purpose. making you less susceptible to the opinions and actions of others. And finally, another profound aspect of focusing on actions is the ripple effect it creates. When you channel your energy into positive endeavors, you not only elevate yourself, but also inspire those around you. Your ability to remain focused and composed in the face of disrespect becomes a powerful example for others to follow. It shows that true strength lies not in fighting every battle, but in choosing the battles that matter, the ones that contribute to your growth and the realization of your potential. As you continue to achieve and progress, the negativity directed at you diminishes in significance. The more you focus on your actions, the less relevant the words or behaviors of others become. Their disrespect fades into the background, overshadowed by the brightness of your accomplishments. This shift in focus liberates you from the need to prove anything to anyone. Your life becomes the proof, a living testament to the power of determination and self-control. In every act of progress, no matter how small, you reclaim your narrative. You remind yourself that your journey is yours alone, and no one else's opinions or actions can derail it unless you allow them to. This realization is both liberating and empowering, giving you the strength to stay the course, even in the face of adversity. For the time, the disrespect you encounter becomes insignificant, a mere blip on the radar of your life, while your achievements stand tall as enduring symbols of your resilience and focus. Ultimately, focusing on your actions allows you to take control of your story. It shifts the power dynamic, ensuring that your response to disrespect is one of growth, strength, and purpose, rather than reactionary conflict. It is a choice to rise above, to prioritize what truly matters, and to let your life become the loudest and most meaningful statement of all. When someone disrespects you, their intention is often to provoke a reaction, to assert control over your emotions, or to draw you into their negativity. Silence, however, disarms them entirely. It takes away the power they believe they have over you, leaving them confused and uncertain. Disrespect thrives on engagement. It feeds on the back-and-forth exchange that conflict creates. When you stay quiet, you disrupt that cycle. You deny them the satisfaction of seeing you flustered, angry, or upset. Instead, you present a calm, composed front that leaves them questioning their approach and often their own behavior. How you will determine how you say what you will say. In a moment of silence, the dynamic shifts entirely. The person who disrespects you expects a reaction. They expect you to defend yourself, retaliate, or at least show signs that their words or actions have affected you. When you do none of these things, it catches them off guard. Silence creates a void, a space where their actions linger without the distraction of your response. This void forces them to confront their behavior on their own, often leading to discomfort or even regret. By choosing silence, you take control of the interaction without saying a word. The person who disrespected you is left to grapple with the absence of the reaction they sought. This confusion often leads them to reflect, even if only briefly, on why they acted the way they did. Silence has a way of holding up a mirror to people, showing them the impact of their actions without the filter of emotional retaliation. It is in this reflective space that real change can begin, whether they acknowledge it openly or not. Until the day, at the same time, silence is an incredibly powerful form of communication. It sends a message far louder than words ever could, that you are not easily shaken, that you refuse to be drawn into negativity, and that you value your peace over pointless conflict. This silent assertion of your boundaries is both dignified and empowering. It shows that you are in control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. You demonstrate that your emotions are not a puppet for someone else to manipulate. And this level of self-mastery is profoundly disarming. People usually have no idea how much other people know about them. This is quite rare. Disrespectful people often rely on the chaos their actions can create. They want to see you stumble, to break your composure, and to engage with them on their terms. When you refuse to play along, you deny them the chaos they crave. Instead, you create an environment of calm and control, one where their attempts to provoke you fall flat. Silence shifts the focus from the conflict they try to instigate to the strength and resolve you embody by not reacting. You say from pain and destruction when the current. Silence also has a way of amplifying the weight of the disrespect itself. When someone disrespects you and you respond with words, the focus often shifts to your reaction rather than their initial action. Arguments escalate, words are exchanged, and the original issue gets lost in the noise. But when you stay quiet, their disrespect remains front and center. Without your response to dilute the situation, their behavior stands out starkly, often making it appear even more inappropriate or unjustifiable. This clarity can be uncomfortable for them, as it forces them to own their actions without the distraction of an emotional back and forth. In some cases, your silence might even inspire others. Those who witness your calm demeanor in the face of disrespect may see it as a sign of true strength. It becomes an unspoken lesson in self-control and composure, showing that power does not always come from speaking louder or reacting faster. True power lies in the ability to remain grounded and unshaken, even when provoked. This example can have a ripple effect, encouraging others to adopt a similar approach in their own lives. The disarming power of silence is not about ignoring the issue or pretending it didn't happen. It's about choosing to respond in a way that protects your energy, maintains your dignity, and ultimately leaves the disrespectful person questioning their own motives. Silence is a strategic choice, one that prioritizes long-term outcomes over short-term satisfaction. It shows that you are not only capable of handling the situation, but also wise enough to do so in a way that minimizes unnecessary drama and conflict. Over time, this approach can transform the way you handle all forms of negativity. You begin to see disrespect not as an attack that requires defense, but as an opportunity to exercise your strength and clarity. The more you practice silence, the more natural it becomes to disarm negativity with grace and composure. It no longer feels like restraint. It feels like power, a power that grows stronger with every moment you choose peace over conflict. In the end, silence disarms disrespect because it shifts the entire dynamic of the interaction. It forces the other person to face their actions, removes their ability to control your emotions, and reinforces your own sense of strength and self-worth. It is a tool of immense power, one that allows you to rise above the noise and chaos of conflict while maintaining your dignity and focus. Staying quiet after being disrespected not only demonstrates maturity and strength, but also gives you the clarity to evaluate whether the situation even warrants a response. Often, we are quick to react in the moment, driven by emotions that cloud our judgment. Silence, however, creates a pause, a much-needed break from the intensity of the situation. In that pause, you gain the perspective necessary to assess the importance of the disrespect, its source, and whether it aligns with your priorities to address it. Not every slight requires your attention, and silence is a tool that allows you to filter the trivial from the meaningful. Disrespect can come from many places: misunderstanding, jealousy, insecurity, or even someone's personal struggles. By taking the time to reflect silently, you give yourself the opportunity to understand the root of the behavior. Sometimes people lash out because they are in pain, frustrated, or feeling inadequate themselves. While this doesn't excuse their actions, it offers you a lens through which you can decide how to proceed. Reacting impulsively may close the door to understanding, while silence leaves it open for you to observe and evaluate. Silence is not about suppressing your feelings or ignoring the issue. It's about taking a strategic pause to decide what serves your greater good. Engaging in every conflict can become exhausting and counterproductive, pulling you into a cycle of negativity that derails your focus and drains your energy. Silence, on the other hand, allows you to reserve your energy for what truly matters: your goals, values, and personal growth. It reminds you that not every battle is worth fighting, especially those that bring no meaningful resolution or insight. When you take the time to reflect, you also gain the opportunity to determine the intention behind the disrespect. Was it a deliberate attempt to hurt you, or was it the result of a momentary lapse in judgment? Understanding intent can guide your response, or lack thereof. If the disrespect was accidental or stemmed from misunderstanding, your silence can pave the way for a more constructive conversation later, when emotions have cooled. On the other hand, if it was intentional and malicious, your silence can serve as a boundary, signaling that such behavior will not be rewarded with your attention. This period of quiet reflection also allows you to prioritize your values. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to lose sight of what's important. However, when you stay silent, you can ask yourself questions that help clarify your priorities. Is this situation aligned with who I want to be? Will responding to this add value to my life or help me achieve my goals? Is this worth my time and energy? These questions can guide you toward a decision that aligns with your long-term vision, rather than a fleeting emotional response. Now, the next graduation lineup, silence also shifts your focus from the external to the internal. Instead of allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your emotions or actions, you take control of the narrative by turning inward. In this space, you can remind yourself of your worth, your goals, and the principles you stand by. You reaffirm that your sense of self is not dictated by how others treat you, but by how you choose to respond. This internal grounding makes you less vulnerable to the opinions and actions of others, empowering you to navigate disrespect with grace and resilience. Through reflection, silence also offers the opportunity for growth. Each experience of disrespect, when approached with clarity and introspection, can teach you something valuable. It might reveal areas where you need to set firmer boundaries, highlight the importance of maintaining emotional discipline, or even teach you about the dynamics of human behavior. Silence turns moments of conflict into moments of learning, allowing you to emerge from the situation stronger and wiser. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're avoiding the situation or letting the other person win. On the contrary, it is an active decision that places the power in your hands. It allows you to evaluate whether engaging is worth it, what outcome you want to achieve, and whether the other person is even open to a constructive resolution. By staying silent, you take the time to strategize rather than react, ensuring that any action you take is intentional and aligned with your values. Over time, this practice of reflection through silence becomes a habit that extends beyond moments of disrespect. It influences how you handle challenges in all areas of your life. You become more patient, more discerning, and more focused on what truly matters. You learn to let go of the small things that don't serve you and invest your energy in the things that do. This shift in perspective not only improves your relationships and interactions, but also enhances your overall sense of peace and fulfillment. Silence, in this context, is not a sign of weakness or passivity. It is a tool for clarity, self-preservation, and empowerment. It allows you to take a step back, assess the situation with wisdom, and decide the best course of action. In doing so, you free yourself from the cycle of impulsive reactions and step into a space of intentional, purposeful living. By staying quiet and reflecting, you protect your peace, uphold your dignity, and ensure that your actions align with the person you aspire to be. Choosing silence after being disrespected is not just a means of avoiding conflict. It is a profound act of self-discipline and self-control. In a world where reactions often come faster than thought, the ability to remain quiet demonstrates a mastery over your emotions that few possess. Disrespect has the power to ignite a fire within, stirring feelings of anger, frustration, and the need to defend oneself. However, true strength lies in the ability to resist that immediate urge to react, to instead take a deep breath and maintain your composure. This control over your impulses is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of wisdom, maturity, and emotional resilience. Emotional discipline is one of the most challenging yet rewarding traits to cultivate. It requires you to pause when every fiber of your being urges you to speak. It demands that you hold back when words are on the tip of your tongue, ready to strike. But in that pause, you reclaim your power. You demonstrate that your emotions are not dictated by someone else's actions, that you are not at the mercy of external provocations. And this level of self-control is empowering, as it reminds you that you hold the reins of your own emotional responses. Pirish, when you remain silent in the face of disrespect, you are not suppressing your emotions. You are channeling them in a way that protects your peace and preserves your energy. Reacting impulsively often leads to regret. Words spoken in anger can escalate the situation and leave you feeling drained or dissatisfied. But silence gives you the space to process your feelings without acting on them prematurely. It allows you to understand what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and whether expressing it will serve any constructive purpose. This reflective process helps you move through the emotional storm without being consumed by it. It's like maintaining silence also prevents the situation from spiraling out of control. When emotions are high, conflicts can quickly escalate with both parties feeding off each other's anger or defensiveness. But when you choose not to engage, you remove the fuel from the fire. The disrespectful person is left without the reaction they were seeking, and the potential for escalation diminishes. This doesn't mean you're letting them win. On the contrary, it shows that you are prioritizing your inner peace over the need to prove a point. The discipline to stay quiet is a skill that strengthens over time. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to pause, reflect, and respond with intention rather than emotion. At first, it may feel unnatural or even frustrating to hold back when faced with disrespect. But as you see the benefits of your restraint, both in terms of your own well-being and the way others perceive you, you begin to value the power of silence more deeply. You realize that by not reacting, you are not conceding. You are standing firm in your own power. Self-control is also contagious. When you maintain your composure, it often has a calming effect on others. People are naturally drawn to those who exhibit strength and poise, especially in challenging situations. Your ability to remain calm under pressure can inspire others to adopt a similar approach, creating an atmosphere of respect and understanding rather than conflict. This ripple effect of emotional discipline can improve not only your interactions with others, but also the overall dynamic of your relationships and environments. Moreover, silence in the face of disrespect sends a clear message about your boundaries. It communicates that you will not be drawn into negativity, that you value your peace too much to engage in unnecessary conflict. This silent assertion of your boundaries is powerful. It forces others to recognize that their actions cannot control you, and it sets a precedent for how you expect to be treated. Over time, this can lead to healthier interactions, as people learn that disrespect will not be met with engagement or validation. Choosing silence also allows you to maintain your focus on what truly matters. Disrespect can be distracting, pulling your attention away from your goals and priorities. But when you refuse to react, you keep your energy directed toward your personal growth and success. You remind yourself that your time and efforts are better spent building a life you are proud of rather than getting caught up in fleeting conflicts. This focus not only helps you stay on track, but also reinforces your sense of purpose and direction. Ultimately, self-abolition through silence is a testament to your inner strength. It shows that you are capable of handling challenges with grace, that you are not easily swayed by the negativity of others. It is a powerful statement of your resilience, your discipline, and your unwavering commitment to your own peace and well-being. By choosing silence, you prove that you are not defined by the disrespect of others, but by your ability to rise above it with dignity and composure. In the face of disrespect, staying quiet is not an act of surrender, but a profound demonstration of strength, wisdom, and self-control. Silence is a tool that empowers you to rise above negativity, to preserve your peace, and to maintain focus on what truly matters. It allows you to reflect before responding, ensuring that your actions align with your values rather than being dictated by fleeting emotions. By refusing to engage with disrespect, you disarm those who seek to provoke you and assert your power in a dignified, unwavering manner. This approach is not about avoiding conflict or ignoring challenges, but about choosing battles that serve your growth and priorities. It is a reminder that your worth is not determined by the words or actions of others, but by how you handle yourself in moments of adversity. Silence creates space for clarity, reflection, and resilience. It transforms you into a person who is unshaken by external negativity, radiating calm strength and purpose. In the end, staying quiet after disrespect is not a sign of weakness. It is the hallmark of someone who values their peace, guards their energy, and refuses to be pulled into unnecessary chaos. It is the ultimate expression of self-mastery. Your mind is the master architect of your reality. Every triumph, every setback, every moment of doubt or courage begins in the mind. The power to overcome lies not in the circumstances that surround you, but in how you perceive, interpret, and respond to them. Think of the mind as a malleable force. It can be shaped, trained, and strengthened to conquer the seemingly unconquerable. Today we delve into the art of mental mastery, the path to rising above every obstacle, and the secret to transforming challenges into stepping stones. Let's begin this journey with 7 transformative principles that will guide you to train your mind to overcome anything. Before any external change can occur, the shift must happen within. Close your eyes and see yourself as the version of you who has already overcome. Create a vivid mental image of your triumph, your peace, and your strength. Picture it with all the detail and emotion you can muster. Feel the freedom, the confidence, the joy of knowing you've risen above the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. This is not mere daydreaming. It is the deliberate shaping of your inner world. Your mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When you visualize yourself as already successful, you begin to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that reality. This alignment is what propels you forward. Your imagination acts as a compass, guiding your subconscious mind toward your vision. Every thought, every choice, and every step begins to support the image you hold within. Do not underestimate the power of this practice. It is not enough to think casually about what you want. You must see it so clearly that it becomes more real to you than your current limitations. Imagine yourself overcoming the challenge with ease, feeling the exhilaration of victory. Let that feeling permeate your entire being. This emotional connection to your vision is the fuel that drives the transformation. By consistently engaging in this process, you train your mind to look beyond temporary setbacks and focus on the inevitable success that awaits you. Your inner vision becomes a magnet, attracting the people, opportunities, and ideas necessary to bring it to life. It is the starting point of every great achievement, the foundation of mental strength, and the key to overcoming anything. Awareness is the key to mental training. Without it, your mind operates on autopilot, guided by habits and patterns that may no longer serve you. To develop awareness, begin by observing your thoughts throughout the day. Notice how they arise, what triggers them, and how they make you feel. Do not judge them, simply watch them, as you would watch clouds passing through the sky. This act of observation creates a space between you and your thoughts. In that space lies your power, the power to choose. When you become aware of a limiting thought, you can interrupt it and replace it with something empowering. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't handle this," pause, acknowledge the thought, and then consciously replace it with, "I'm capable of finding a solution." This simple shift, repeated consistently, rewires your mental habits over time. Awareness is also about identifying patterns in your reactions. Do you notice a tendency to feel overwhelmed, discouraged, or fearful in certain situations? These emotional responses often stem from deeply rooted beliefs about yourself and the world. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can begin to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief true? Does it support the vision I have for my life? Most often, you will find that these limiting beliefs are illusions, shadows cast by past experiences that no longer have power over you. Through awareness, you become the master of your internal world. You learn to pause before reacting, to respond with intention rather than impulse. This practice is transformative because it empowers you to act from a place of clarity and strength, even in the face of adversity. In cultivating awareness, remember that it is a journey, not a destination. Every day presents an opportunity to become more attuned to your inner world. The more aware you are of your thoughts and emotions, the more control you have over the direction of your life. With awareness as your foundation, you can begin to dismantle the barriers within and unlock the limitless potential of your mind. Every obstacle carries within it the seed of growth. When you encounter challenges, your initial reaction might be frustration, fear, or even defeat. These emotions are natural, but they are not the end of the story. The secret lies in how you interpret the challenge before you. Instead of seeing it as an insurmountable problem, reframe it as an opportunity for expansion and transformation. Ask yourself, what lesson is hidden in this experience? How can I grow because of it? These questions shift your focus from the problem to the solution. This mental pivot is not just a practice, it's a skill that strengthens with time. Challenges are not designed to break you. They're designed to refine you, to push you beyond your current limitations and expand your capacity for resilience and wisdom. Consider this. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced significant challenges. What sets them apart is not that they avoided difficulty, but that they embraced it as a necessary part of their journey. They understood that every setback is a set-up for a comeback, that adversity is the fertile soil in which their greatest strengths take root. When you train your mind to see challenges in this way, you begin to harness their transformative power. Reframing challenges also helps you develop creativity. When faced with a problem, ask yourself, what is another way to approach this? Solutions often emerge when you let go of rigid thinking and open yourself to new perspectives. The process of seeking answers strengthens your mind and enhances your ability to adapt to any situation. Verbatim. Remember, growth often feels uncomfortable. When you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, it's natural to feel uncertain or even afraid. But these feelings are not signs of failure. They are signs of progress. They are indicators that you are moving towards something greater, something worth striving for. Through this practice, challenges become opportunities to test and affirm your inner strength. They teach you patience, perseverance, and the art of seeing beyond the immediate struggle to the profound growth waiting on the other side. With every challenge you embrace, you train your mind to overcome anything and to thrive in the face of adversity. Your brain works hard. A disciplined mind is a fortress, unshaken by the winds of distraction and doubt. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you cultivate, one intentional choice at a time. It begins with understanding that every great achievement requires consistent effort, and the foundation of that effort is mental focus. Now, to develop mental discipline, start by choosing a practice that aligns with your goals and commit to it daily. It might be meditation, journaling, visualization, or repeating affirmations. These practices are not merely routines. They are tools to train your mind to remain focused, calm, and intentional. Each time you engage in these activities, you are strengthening your mental muscles, just as physical exercise strengthens your body. Discipline also involves setting boundaries for your thoughts. The mind has a tendency to wander, to dwell on worries or distractions. But through consistent practice, you can train it to stay aligned with what truly matters. When a negative or irrelevant thought arises, notice it without judgment and gently bring your focus back to the task at hand. This process may feel difficult at first, but over time it becomes second nature. Another critical aspect of discipline is consistency. True discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. There will be days when you falter, when your resolve feels weak. In those moments, remind yourself of your purpose, your vision, and the reason you began this journey. Then take one small step forward. Even the smallest act of discipline reinforces your commitment and strengthens your mind. Discipline also requires self-compassion. Many people mistake discipline for rigidity, but in truth, it is a balance between focus and flexibility. When you encounter setbacks, do not criticize yourself. Instead, reflect on what you can learn and how you can adjust your approach moving forward. This mindset keeps you resilient and adaptable, ensuring that temporary failures do not derail your progress. Through disciplined effort, you create habits that support your growth and success. Over time, these habits become the foundation of your mental strength. Your disciplined mind becomes your greatest ally, allowing you to overcome distractions, doubts, and difficulties with ease. With each day of practice, you build a fortress of resilience, preparing yourself to face any challenge and achieve your greatest aspirations. The present moment is where your power resides. It is the only point in time where you can take action, make decisions, and create change. Yet so many of us are trapped in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. Training your mind to anchor itself in the present is one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate, because it frees you from the burden of what was and the fear of what might be. Start by recognizing that the present moment is enough. It is complete, whole, and filled with potential. When you focus on the here and now, you begin to see opportunities that were previously obscured by mental noise. You can ask yourself, what can I do in this moment to move forward, to grow, to overcome? The answer may not always be grand, but even the smallest step taken in the present carries you closer to your goals. To practice this awareness, engage fully in whatever you are doing. If you are working, focus entirely on the task at hand. If you're speaking with someone, give them your undivided attention. When you eat, savor the flavors. When you breathe, feel the air fill your lungs. This mindfulness trains your mind to stay in the now, enhancing your clarity and reducing the mental clutter that drains your energy. Stop with the observer mind and learn to see that which is approaching. The present moment is also where you cultivate calmness amidst chaos. When challenges arise, your mind may instinctively leap to the worst-case scenarios. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause. Take a deep breath and ground yourself in the present. Ask, what is actually happening right now, and what is within my control? This practice not only keeps you calm, but also allows you to respond to challenges with wisdom and precision. Another benefit of living in the present is that it strengthens your resilience. Worrying about the future often amplifies fear, while dwelling on the past can breed regret. Both drain your mental energy and leave you feeling powerless. But when you remain in the now, you reclaim that energy. You channel it into purposeful action, turning moments of uncertainty into moments of strength. Remember, life unfolds one moment at a time. By focusing on the present, you unlock the ability to face challenges with composure and clarity. You stop wasting energy on what you cannot change and start directing it toward what you can. The present moment is your anchor, your foundation, and your most potent tool for overcoming anything life throws your way. And gratitude is the secret weapon of the resilient mind, a transformative practice that shifts your perspective from lack to abundance. It is easy to focus on what you don't have, on the struggles you face, and on the things that feel out of reach. But gratitude allows you to see the treasures already present in your life, no matter how small or simple they may seem. When you cultivate a mindset of gratitude, you empower yourself to face any challenge with strength and clarity. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it is about choosing to focus on the positive aspects of your life, even in the midst of adversity. When you train your mind to recognize and appreciate what you have, you create a sense of inner stability. This stability allows you to navigate challenges without being overwhelmed by them. To practice gratitude, begin by taking a moment each day to reflect on what you are thankful for. This can be as simple as acknowledging the warmth of the sun, the support of a loved one, or the opportunity to grow through life's challenges. Write these reflections down, if possible, to make them tangible and real. The more you engage with this practice, the more natural it becomes to see the good in every situation. And for this, gratitude also enhances your ability to reframe difficulties. When faced with an obstacle, instead of focusing solely on the struggle, ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this situation? Perhaps it's the lesson the challenge is teaching you, the strength you are developing, or the chance to grow closer to your goals. This shift in perspective turns every setback into a stepping stone, reinforcing your belief in your ability to overcome. Beyond personal growth, gratitude has a ripple effect. It changes how you interact with others and with the world around you. When you express genuine appreciation, you strengthen relationships and inspire positivity in those you encounter. This creates a cycle of abundance, where the energy of gratitude attracts even more to be thankful for. Even in the most difficult moments, there is always something to appreciate. You may take effort to find it, but the act of searching strengthens your resilience. Gratitude reminds you that no matter how dark the storm, there is always light to be found. It anchors you in hope and empowers you to move forward with grace and determination. When you embrace gratitude as a daily practice, you equip your mind to handle any challenge with a heart full of strength and possibility. God help us all. Trust in the power within you, for it is the most profound and limitless force you possess. Too often, people look outside themselves for validation, answers, or solutions, forgetting that the greatest resource lies within. This internal power is the foundation of resilience, creativity, and transformation. It is the quiet but unwavering belief that you are capable of overcoming anything and creating the life you desire. To cultivate this trust, start by recognizing that you are not separate from the possibilities you seek. The strength, courage, and wisdom you need are already within you, waiting to be called forth. When you affirm your inner power, you begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstance, but as the creator of your reality. Every thought, every choice, and every action becomes an expression of this belief. Developing trust in your inner power requires listening to your intuition. This inner voice often speaks softly, guiding you toward what feels right, even if it defies logic or conventional wisdom. To hear it clearly, you must quiet the noise of doubt and fear. Spend time in stillness, whether through meditation, reflection, or simply being present. In this silence, your intuition becomes louder, more precise, and more trustworthy. This trust also requires you to act boldly, even in the face of uncertainty. When challenges arise, they can shake your confidence and make you question your abilities. But trusting in your power means moving forward anyway, even when the path is unclear. Each step you take reinforces your belief in yourself, building momentum, and proving that you are stronger than you once thought. Your power is amplified when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your vision. Speak as though your desires are already yours. Feel the joy and confidence of success, and act with the conviction that what you seek is inevitable. This alignment creates a magnetic force that draws opportunities, resources, and solutions into your life. Trusting in your inner power is not a passive belief. It is an active, dynamic force that shapes your reality. Understand that setbacks and failures do not diminish your power. They are part of your growth. Every challenge you face strengthens your resolve, deepens your wisdom, and expands your capacity to overcome. Trusting in your power means embracing these moments as necessary steps on your journey, knowing that they are shaping you into the person who can achieve all you desire. When you fully trust in your inner power, you become unshakable. External circumstances lose their hold over you because you know that everything you need to succeed is already within. This trust is the foundation of mental strength, the key to resilience, and the source of your ability to overcome anything life places in your path. In the journey of training your mind to overcome anything, remember that the true battle is not with the external world, but within yourself. Your thoughts, beliefs, and focus determine the reality you experience. Each moment offers an opportunity to reshape your inner world, to rise above limitations, and to align yourself with the life you desire. Visualize your success vividly, allowing it to take root in your mind and guide your actions. Cultivate awareness, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment and redirecting them toward empowerment. Embrace challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Through discipline, train your mind to focus on what matters, building habits that support your growth. Live fully in the present, for it is the only space where change can occur, and gratitude will illumine the abundance that already surrounds you. Most importantly, Trust in the immense power within you, the source of your strength, creativity, and transformation. You have everything you need to overcome any obstacle, achieve your goals, and thrive in the face of adversity. By mastering your mind, you unlock your greatest potential and step into the life you were meant to live. This is not a journey of struggle, but of empowerment, growth, and purpose. The path forward is clear. Trust yourself, act with intention, and embrace the limitless possibilities within and around you. The power to overcome anything is and always has been within your grasp.